Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is Saturday, November 1st, 2025, and Barcelona are currently in talks with the authorities to make sure their friendly match in Peru does move forward. Also, Joan Garcia has entered the final stage of his recovery. And finally, Barcelona will battle it out with Arsenal over one of the most talented, or one of the most promising, I should say, players currently in France. We have a lot to discuss. So let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. We'll begin this video with the news that Barcelona are currently in talks with both La Liga and the AFE, which is the Spanish Football Players Association, or the Union of Players in La Liga, to make sure that their friendly match in Peru does move forward. Now, as I told you in a previous video, Barcelona have received an offer to play a friendly match in Peru at the end of this year. So it will be after the Villarreal match. The Villarreal match is supposed to be played around December 20th weekend. So it will be after that match against Villarreal. This match will be played in Peru at the Monumental Stadium against the Peruvian national team. And if this does go through, Barcelona are expected to receive between 7 to 8 million euros for one friendly match. Not bad at all. And of course, Barcelona are currently in talks with both La Liga and the AFE, or the Players Union, to make sure that this match does go forward, because as you might recall, Barcelona were supposed to play the match against Villarreal in Miami, Florida, but there was a lot of opposition from the Players Association, so it ended up that match ended up falling through, and now it's going to be played in Spain. So Barcelona doesn't the same thing. They don't want the same thing to happen with this friendly match, so they're currently in talks from both the AFE and La Liga to make sure that all goes smoothly, that all goes as planned, and of course that the collective bargaining agreement between the players and La Liga is not violated by this friendly match. Now, this match, again, is still not confirmed. There's still talks ongoing, but Barcelona do want it to happen because, of course, 8 million euros would really help the Barcelona finances. Of course, I'm not in favor of these matches halfway through the season. You have to travel halfway around the world. I think it's too exhausting for the players and can cause more injuries, but I want to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions, so let me know down below in the comment section. Would you like to see a friendly match in Peru in December? Keep in mind also that on January 3rd or 4th, there is a match against Espanyol. There's also the Spanish Super Cup in Saudi. So let me know. I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts. All right, on to that next bit of news, because one match that will go through is, of course, tomorrow's match against Elche, and today the players trained one last time before that match. They did the final training session ahead of tomorrow's match. And one player who joined the group training was no other than our goalkeeper, Joan Garcia. Now, as you know, Joan Garcia has been injured. He did undergo a knee surgery, and he had been training on the pitch by himself, and he had completed several sessions. But today, he actually trained with the team. And as you know, because I've explained it many times before, training with the group is the final stage of the recovery. You know, when you undergo surgery, you first have to heal. Once you're done healing, then you do physical therapy. Once you're done with physical therapy, you do gym workouts. Then you start working out on the pitch by yourself. And finally, the last stage is to do group trainings with the rest of the team. And that's exactly what Joan Garcia has done. So that's, of course, great news, because it means that Joan Garcia is almost back. Now, as I told you previously, it's expected that Joan Garcia will be back for that Celta Vigo match. So he's ruled out, obviously, from tomorrow's match against Elche and a midweek match against Club Brugge in the Champions League. But next weekend, so in 1 week away, Joan Garcia could be back. And then right after that, there is a FIFA international break. And it's reported that if Joan Garcia does receive the medical clearance right before that FIFA international break, that Barcelona will probably try to talk to the Royal Spanish Football Federation to avoid any kind of call-up from them to Joan Garcia, even though so far they haven't called him up. But just in case, or maybe Barcelona just hold off completely on, declaring him fit right for that match and just wait for the international break to be over just to be safe. If that happens, then Joan Garcia will be back for the Athletic Club de Bilbao match on November 22nd, which is when Barcelona expect to be back at the Spotify Camp Nou with a 1B license, which allows Barcelona to host 45,000 people at the stadium. All right, speaking of tomorrow's match, of course, Hansi Flick did participate in a pre-match press conference. In it, he discussed several topics. including Lamine Yamal's injury. He was asked about that injury, and this is what the German coach had to say. There's talk about Lamine every week. He's doing well. I just spoke with him. He experiences some discomfort on certain days. He's improving and pushing himself. He's progressing well. We do it. We talk to him, and we do it normally. We're both very honest. I'll always protect him and support him. He's a fantastic guy, very young. We'll continue down this path. So Lamine Yamal saying that Hansi Flick saying that Lamine Yamal is doing well. However, he still feels discomfort from that pubalgia injury, which of course this has been confirmed by Barcelona's doctors that Lamine Yamal is not 100% fit, and now Hansi Flick confirming it. But of course, this is something just that is going to have to go on his own, away on his own. There's not much you could do at this stage. Just wait for it to heal, and hopefully it can heal the sooner rather than later. Now, Hansi Flick was asked about Pedri's injury because, as you know, Pedri was injured, or it was found out that he was injured after that Real Madrid match. And this is what Hansi Flick had to say. The injury surprised us. After playing against Real Madrid, he only felt fatigued. Then the injury was discovered. We have to accept it. We're missing one of our key players. He gives us stability and a lot of possession. We have to manage. So Hansi Flick revealing that nobody knew that he was injured. That he just felt tired, and then they did medical tests, and voila, the injury was there. But nonetheless, saying, Pedri is very important, but you got to, there's not much you could do. You have to adapt. You have to figure out how to move forward. Of course, we'll see how Hansi Flick adapts to this big loss. My guess, of course, and I think that's by most of you's guess, is that it's going to be Frankie de Jong and Marc Casado in a double pivot with Fermin Lopez as an attacking mid, and maybe alternating with Dani Olmo, since now it's expected that Dani Olmo could be back for tomorrow's match. Now, Hansi Flick was asked about Joan Garcia, because I did just mention Joan Garcia, and this is what the German coach had to say. With Joan Garcia, we're taking it day by day. He looks good, but we shouldn't put pressure on him. We'll see how much Lewandowski and Olmo can play tomorrow. So it's expected that Lewandowski will get the medical clearance for tomorrow. We'll see whether Dani Olmo gets the clearance or not. Of course, we'll know for sure tomorrow when we see the squad list. But speaking of training, one player that is still missing is, of course, Andreas Christensen. He's still feeling some discomfort. So today, Hansi Flick called up Mbappe from Barça Athletic to train with the team. We'll see whether Mbappe gets included in the squad list for tomorrow's match against Elche. And we'll see, of course, when Christensen will be back. I imagine he'll be back soon, because they're saying it's just, he's just having a mild discomfort from the calf injury that he's currently suffering. So it's not expected that he be out for too long. Now, let's end this video with some big news, because it's been revealed that Barcelona are currently tracking and very interested in a very promising French player, a 15-year-old French player. And it's no other than this guy that you see on your screen. His name is Lasine megnan-pave. I think that's how you say his name, Lasine megnan-pave. Again, he's 15 years old. He has a very, very striking he's a center forward, by the way, but he has a very striking physicality. He currently, at 15 years old, his height is 187 centimeters, and his weight is 77 kilograms. He currently plays at Montpellier. Last season, with the under-17 team, he scored 15 goals and provided 12 assists in 24 matches. Very amazing numbers. And this season, he has been promoted to the under-19 team. And it's reported that Arsenal are also very, very interested. So both Barcelona and Arsenal will have to battle it out for Lasine megnan-pave. Now, it's reported that Montpellier do want to give Lasine his first professional contract, a 3-year contract, because as you know, under rules, only when he turns 16 can you sign a professional contract. And since he's under 18, he can only sign maximum of 3 years. So Montpellier are looking to offer Lasine his first professional contract that will be 3 years long once he turns 16. And this is what Lasine said previously. Montpellier is my club. Since I was a child, I have been going to matches at the Stade de la Maison. I would love to play on that pitch and in the Champions League with them. So it looks like Lasine will be more inclined at staying in Montpellier. But of course, when Barcelona and Arsenal knock on your door, that does change things. So we'll see what the youngster ends up deciding. All right, that is all this for this video. I will be uploading another video in a few moments, so stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Barça.